Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading. Tonight you have this fish card. It says abundance and luck on it. You also have this whale. It says wisdom keeper on it. So, yeah, it could be a good week for luck or abundance. We'll see, Taurus. This looks really good as well, so you're off to a great start. The wisdom keeper card says, you already know. I feel like I said this to you recently, Taurus, that, if you're doubting yourself in any way, I feel like you shouldn't, because you already know what to do. And I do feel this is like, even though love shows up here, I feel like the area of your life that you already know what to do has to do with your finances. And here you go, I literally said that, and you have this new moon in Taurus. It says prosperity lies ahead. So, I feel like you already know what to do, like with your finances or whatever. Even if you're retired, you could be improving your finances or doing something in that area of your life. And I definitely got that feeling off the front of the reading here. You do have the Tower. Everybody has had the Tower lately again. So, I think there could just be global Tower moments. We're going to see plenty of them. The other thing I would say is that, to me, the Judgment card and the Tower, which I'm pretty sure you had with me in one of your recent readings, represents like a major revelation or major wake-up call. So the Judgment card, I consider the most powerful, kind of change combination in the tarot. So there could be a significant change happening, and we'll definitely talk about it. You have the Lovers. If you want love, looks really good. You have the Lovers, the Sun, and the Emperor. So for those of you that want it, there definitely could be like an Emperor coming in for you. You know what? I'm pretty sure I've said this to you in the past as well, and I feel like some of you are not like really expecting love. And again, I don't mean this to like be mysterious or something like that. I just think that you're just not looking for it maybe, or maybe some of you just aren't looking for it and it still kind of like appears in your life. And this could happen at any time over the next period ahead. I feel, I always say that, tarot the universe doesn't wear a watch. So these things happen when they're going to happen and, we never really know when. But there definitely could be love. You have the Sun, which is the best card in the deck. A lot of happiness and joy coming off the Sun. I would encourage all fixed signs to be more playful. There's this wall on the Sun behind this child, and the wall on the Sun kind of represents the wall we all put up against our inner child. So, maybe we feel like we don't want to look foolish doing something. That can be a wall against your inner child because our inner child wants us to be curious, wants us to explore, wants us to ask questions, and wants us to play. So usually, I feel good about this, but I also kind of feel the fear side of this, if that makes sense, Taurus. Where it's like maybe some of you want to do something in your life, but it's like you're fearing asking questions or, maybe you're fearing looking foolish if you do something wrong or whatever. And so I do feel like the Sun is encouraging you to get back to that place of playfulness and, willingness to explore. That's what I would do. You have the Emperor. The Emperor definitely could be an emperor for you, but I also have seen a lot of people, kind of like taking control lately. And the Emperor is very much a card of control. So this could be you taking control of your reality. And he takes control in a very specific way. He is sitting here on his throne, and he has his armor on underneath his cloak here. It kind of says that he's ready to go at a moment's notice and he waits for kind of like opportunities to come to him. And then when he sees an opportunity, he doesn't dilly-dally, doesn't like screw around. He takes advantage of it. And I definitely get that feeling for you where it's like, if you are wanting to take control of what you're working on in life or wherever you're going, this says like, don't question new opportunities as they come. With the Lovers, you have the Four of Swords. Resting, relaxation mode with the Four of Swords. And again, he's not doing anything. So like I said, I kind of feel like there could be surprise love coming in, even though this is a weekly reading. Like I said, the universe doesn't wear a watch. So he's not really doing anything, but he is maybe receiving love, even though he's not doing anything for it. So like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if love comes in. And even if you don't want it, sometimes people tell me all the time that they don't want love, which is fine, I have no problem with that. But it's like that's not going to stop a person from being interested in you, so you don't have to accept it, of course. But, again, it's not going to stop a person from expressing interest. With the Sun, you have the Chariot. Yes, another card of control. The Chariot is a card of hard control in the tarot, meaning you really have to take control of those reins to make something happen. And again, this is the secret to the next long period of time for everyone, is setting yourself apart. He is leaving the city behind and he is doing something in a unique way. So I think that anything that you're working on, doing things in a more unique or a way that's unique to you, kind of like expressing your specialness or whatever you want to call it, would be very important with the Chariot. With the Emperor, you have the Emperor. So definitely a card. Definitely it could be an Emperor coming in for you, but also could really be encouraging the control that I talked about, like you taking control of opportunities. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Hand of Fate card. It says everything is happening for a reason, except the things to which fate binds you. You have the Kish spirit. It says you're manifesting more love, prosperity, and wealth into your life. So I would definitely practice putting yourself in a good position manifestation-wise, and also, manifest from a good place. I think that we need to manifest from, a positive, loving energy. That's how we manifest the best stuff, so that's what I would do here. You have the Two of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Strength card. I do feel with this and the Strength card, it's like you need to ask I think you need to ask yourself this question, like, where am I protecting myself? Like, I would ask yourself, right, literally in your head. Maybe you need to get a piece of paper and write on the top of it, where am I protecting myself? And just write and see what comes up. 'Cause I get that energy here. And there's, of course, nothing wrong with protecting yourself, but I would be looking at those places where maybe you're protecting yourself because, again, you're like afraid of looking foolish, or maybe you're afraid of people making fun of you or hurting your inner child or whatever it is. And, again, I can't do the work for you, so you have to be the one to do it. And that's what I would look at with this Two of Swords. I think it will set you free. When you think about it, the Judgment card, these people are kind of like trapped in these coffins and they're rising up out of the coffin. The coffin represents their old life. Then outside the coffin represents their new life. So they have to kind of like accept a new reality. And I feel like that's what could be going on here. You have the Page of Wands. Again, I think this is just enhancing the Sun. The Page of Wands, he just follows his enthusiasm. He doesn't care what anyone thinks about the journey that he's going on. As a matter of fact, people might be telling him what he's about to do would be him being foolish if he did it, right? And sometimes we have to let people do things. It's like for years, it's like obviously I have a younger brother and it's like sometimes he has ideas that I know are bad ideas, right? But I let him. Old Chris would used to like try to stop him from doing things that were bad ideas, But like now that I'm older, I realize that it's like sometimes we have to experience certain things, even if they cause us pain or loss of money or whatever, because those are our best teachers. I cannot teach him certain things, because he's very stubborn, number one, right? Number two, it's like some things we just have to learn on our own. And so that's like the Page of Wands. People might tell you not to do certain things. They are maybe trying to protect you from pain, number one. They could be wrong. I'm wrong all the time, right? So there's number one. Number two, they don't understand like where you're coming from. Usually when people judge our journey, it's like they're only seeing you as you are right now. They don't understand your past, or they don't understand your true capabilities. So with the Page of Wands, it's like sometimes we just have to be willing to kind of follow our enthusiasm and look like a fool to be successful. You have the Strength card. The Strength card is a card of strength, obviously. This is a card of soft control. Again, we have the Chariot, which is a card of hard control. The Strength card is more of a passive energy. She is quieting her inner voice to take control of her life. And it's like I said, it's something that she kind of does passively. She corrects her thoughts. If she has a negative thought, she corrects it to a positive thought. If something inside her tells her she can't do something, she corrects the thought. So I feel kind of working on your inner voice there would be a really good idea. With the Two of Swords, you have the Moon. Not being sure of outcomes. Nobody is right now. We have Neptune in Pisces, I believe. We've had Neptune in Pisces for years. Neptune will be moving into Aries, but then it's going to retrograde back into Pisces later on. And what I would say here is that I believe Neptune in Pisces kind of makes it hard for us to see through the illusion. Usually we are delusional with Neptune in Pisces. It's a very delusional energy, right? But also sometimes that delusional energy is a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing, of course. But, like sometimes if we set out to do something that maybe is 1,000 times harder than what we are normally able to accomplish, even if we, maybe we get to something that's like 100 times harder, but that's like 100 times better than what you wanted. So we can accomplish like the impossible during Neptune in Pisces. But I think with the moon, it's about understanding that and working towards something that you want to accomplish anyway. With the Page of Wands, you have the Devil. The Devil can represent toxic energy, of course. And of course, I would be careful if you have like anyone coming in that seems toxic. This here would be about really trusting. The thing with the Judgment card is that this could be a person from the past. And, a lot of people have had this energy of past people coming back. I don't know what it is. Maybe, we're past the Mercury retrograde, but we still have Mars retrograde. We also have Venus going retrograde. So, maybe, and I would be careful because the Devil would say there's still a devil. I didn't want to do that. With the Strength card, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, like realizing that you have the strength to make a change in your life. With the Strength card, Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? He's looking at everything that he has accomplished, and now it's time for him to go or move in a new direction because he's already kind of learned everything he needs to learn from the situation. It's kind of funny because like someone this morning asked me why I hate on exes so much. And it's not that I hate on exes, but it's like when someone breaks up with you, they are literally taking the risk of never talking to you again. That's sometimes what happens. So they are literally saying, my life would be better without you. And that is like a harsh truth that I think people need to accept, right? It's like when someone is breaking up with you, they are taking that risk. And so I think it is our duty to make our lives so much better that we attract a person who is even better than that person. And we're not doing it for them. We should be doing these things for us. But I think it's a duty after a breakup to greatly improve our lives because, it's like maybe it's something in our psyche that we start to feel like we're not good enough or what did we do wrong? We start blaming ourselves. And that's why I believe we need to make the correction and make ourselves even better. And that's like the best thing you can do. So I think some of you, if you have been through a breakup, it's like you are improving yourself. Chariot, Strength. Next, in the area of your messages from your future self, you have this card that says prosperity lies ahead. You also have this card that says a fiery climax approaches. The Tower would clearly be a fiery climax, which could be a good thing. This could be a positive change, because we have the Judgment card in the Tower, and clearly there's prosperity coming in for you. You have the Judgment card, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Tower. The Judgment card, these people are in these coffins. Like I said, outside of the coffin is their new life. Definitely encouraging you to release the past and move forward in some way. So I think it would be an amazing time for you to release the past, and this doesn't have to be a past person, It could be your past story, it could be a past situation or whatever. And the Judgment card is about answering the call to your purpose. And the other thing is that we go down from the Two of Swords here, we go Knight of Pentacles to the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is like building a life worth living. Some people say that the Nine of Pentacles is heaven on earth. So, does that mean that you're really going to have heaven on earth? No. But it's like working towards creating an extremely positive environment around yourself. The Knight of Pentacles says you have everything you need. All you have to do is start planting those seeds. So I think it would be a great time for you to start working on just general improvements, life improvements. Strength, Chariot, both cards are definitely encouraging you to improve your life in some way. And it could be any area of your life, but the Knight of Pentacles says it's time to make progress, and that's what I would do here. You have the Tower. The Tower can be about accepting reality. Again, the reality could be exactly what I said about an ex, right? Thinking that their life would be better without you, basically. And so that's what I think is going on here, is that there could be like a level of acceptance which sets you free. The Tower does set us free. Again, I don't care what anyone says, the Tower is not really a bad card. Can it be uncomfortable? Yes. But is it a bad thing? No. Because these people are coming down to reality. They are seeing reality for what it actually is. They are seeing the truth. And so, yeah, sometimes the truth hurts, but at the same time they are seeing the truth. So, this could be some sort of like reality acceptance, like I said. Tower and Judgment, major. There could be like a major wake-up call happening around this time as well. Can't make this up. With the Judgment card, you have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is usually a person who's different than your usual type. I think when we do attract a person who's different than our usual type, we have kind of broken the spell. Usually we have a habit of dating the same person over and over and over again. And I'm not talking about literally the same person, I'm talking about the same type of person. And so I think a lot of you maybe have broken the spell here in love. And again, even if even if you don't want love, this could be you just entering into a new opportunity. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is your curiosity. I think you've been curious about working on something for a very long period of time, and maybe you're starting to believe that you're capable of doing like the thing that you're actually thinking about doing. And so it is a great period for curiosity. I mean, everybody in the yearly readings that I've done recently had something about curiosity, so I think it would be a great time to explore. With the Tower, you have the Three of Swords. Again, like I said, this kind of is definitely striking me as an old story that you are accepting, You know what I mean? With the Tower, it's kind of like saying to me that, this could be love, but it doesn't have to be as well. It could literally be anything that hurt you. But I feel like maybe now you're finally accepting the reality of a situation. But again, this is a good thing because that is how you can change. You have, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Remember card and this Transition card. I mean, we have a million cards of going through some sort of transition here. The Remember card, I think, is encouraging you to kind of like get back to basics. I kind of feel like everyone needs to do this. You don't, of course, now that I'm trying to make a point, you don't have the card, but you always get the Ten of Pentacles with me, which is kind of like everything you want and desire. But I always tell people, like, we have to get down to the real reason we want something. People love to say like, oh, I want to make all this money. And then when you ask them the reason why they want to make the money, they'll say things like, oh, I want to donate it, or I want to be able to live a life of freedom, or whatever. But it's like that's probably not really what you want. There is probably something much, much deeper that you actually want, or a much deeper reason. I always tell the cookie story. There's a famous sales trainer, David Sandler, and he tells a story about when we're children, we ask our mother for a cookie before dinner. And our mother says like, no, you have to have your dinner first. And then eventually, long story short, we say, Mom, I'm hungry. We don't say, I want a cookie. So we have all trained ourselves to not ask for exactly what we want. So I think that it would be a good time for you to look at like the real reason that you want to create this right here, Nine of Pentacles or Ten of Pentacles, right? Even though we don't have it, it's like you need to get down to the real reason as to why you want it. And again, I can't do that for you, but I think that if like once you figure out the real reason, then you can actually accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. You have the Four of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. The Four of Wands, of course, could be marriage. You definitely could be meeting a person. I feel like this is definitely a new person, and they're probably very different than your usual type. Or there's some sort of difference. The Four of Wands is also a card of freedom. And, with Uranus and Taurus, even though Uranus will be leaving later on, a lot of you could have a strong craving for more freedom. You have the Page of Swords, which you have twice in the reading. And again, the Page of Swords is a great card for curiosity, or being curious about how you can accomplish the things that you're trying to accomplish. So, I would follow your curiosity. Again, I think this whole middle row here is talking about you kind of looking at your inner child, or, also being willing to ask those questions or, do the things that might make you look foolish. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is independence, heaven on earth, like I said. I think once you get clear on the real reason why you want something or things, multiple, whatever they are, could be experiences, could be material goods, could be anything. I think once you get clear, then you will be able to accomplish your goal. And, she has this falcon right here, which represents the fact that she is training her focus. And focus is another word that came up a lot in recent readings. With the Four of Wands, you have the Tower, which is coming up in the good stuff again. So, again, it could be a surprise. There could be a surprise person that's coming in for you here and, just something that's unexpected. With the Page of Swords, you have the Seven of Swords. Again, Seven of Swords showing up in the good stuff would represent doing things in a different way. I personally think the Seven of Swords is a good card anyway. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. Now, of course, what I would say is, with this energy here, I would still be careful of a past person. Page of Swords could be a person spying on you. Devil and Seven of Swords would basically say this person hasn't changed and they are sneaky. So if you have a sneaky person from the past, I would be careful. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the King of Cups. See? I'm wondering if this is the problem. It's like I think you could be attracting a new person that, like, I don't necessarily think that you think they're toxic. I don't even think you've met this person yet, by the way. But you could be meeting a person who's like very much like very confident. I feel like this person is very confident, very set in their ways, and you might look at them as toxic, but I don't actually think they are. So again, I would be open to new people. It's like I don't think this person is toxic, I just think that they probably don't give in to BS, right? And so, if you're being honest with yourself, we all do this where we do things in relationships where like we do something to try to get the other person to do something. And I think if, in those moments with this person might call your BS out or something. I don't know, it's popping into my head. Take it how it resonates, but very interesting. So, again, that's definitely something I would pay attention to. The King of Cups is also a card of the home, so, clearly your environment is going to be very important, or kind of like the energy that is around you is going to be important as well. You have this back card, it says take care, enemies working against you. Yes, Mars retrograde. I don't really think enemies are working against you. I think Mars retrograde makes us paranoid, and Mars retrograde, I think, can make us feel like people are doing things behind our back or doing things they're not. So, I would pay attention to that. You have this tortoise that says slowly but surely getting ahead. So yeah, we see a lot of progress. Even Knight of Pentacles is a card of progress, so I think you're making progress. You have this kite card, it says vacation. I think you need a vacation for sure, because this is like a deep work reading. Strength, chariot, all this stuff we talked about working on yourself or, asking yourself questions. So maybe you need a vacation to be able to do that. You have this forest, it says muddled, unclear thinking. Moon definitely. I mean, there's nothing we can do to get around this other than to stay focused and just to keep pushing forward. So, that's what I would do there. You have this card talking about a period of time in the past, and this KN card, it says unsuccessful plans. I feel that maybe over a recent period you've been experiencing plans falling through. I actually feel this is about to change, so I feel pretty good about this for you here, Taurus. But, pretty interesting reading. I like it. Definitely, I think you're going in a good direction here. I would be open to surprises as well. But, thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.